Hey, all you heavy metal maniacs. This is Necro Gin Toxic. And this is a video about my music collection. It's just called Heavy Metal Psychodrama because I wish I could do videos that are more, I wish I could put other videos in with it, but I don't know really how to do that yet. But I'm going to show you some music I listen to. And this is I wish I could write it down. It takes work to make videos, folks. That's for sure. And I'll take more time with the next one, my next heavy metal psychodrama too, whenever that will come out. But anyways, I'll tell you a story. There's always so much bad press about heavy metal and stuff. You know, back in the 80s, there was like Ozzy Osbourne and Suicide Solution, and people killing themselves over a song or something like that. And you know, if a person's gonna kill themselves over a song, I mean anything could. So it's not the music, it's not the people playing the music. These people are trying to do a service to society. And, you know, they like doing it, and they have passion making music. And I can feel their passion. Like when I listen to an Ozzy tune, it puts me in another world. It puts me in a better place. But anyways, when I was younger, and I first started getting into heavy metal, my first band was Quiet Riot. That was my favorite band. I loved them. I really loved Quiet Riot, and I still do. I still listen to their first album over and over again, and it just rocks. Rocks to this day, you know. And these are the forefronters of the generations we see today, like black metal, and I like the evolution of music, from rock and roll to heavy metal to all these offshoots. I think all the offshoots are awesome. I think they're really awesome, even if they're not my bag of candy. Still, it's still music and it's still expression. I mean, what would we do without expression? People would be killing each other left, right, and center. Music gives us a service. Ever since the start of time, heavy metal, or not heavy metal, but psychodrama, has always paid its play in every culture. If we didn't have stuff to deal with sex and death, the society would go nuts. And in a lot of ways, it's good for us. I mean, we need music. We need something to express ourselves. I mean, we can't go to a church and wear a suit and tie and say Jesus Christ every 2 seconds. And I mean, if I was God, if I was Jesus, I wouldn't want you saying my name 24 times an hour just to please me. I mean, that'd be ridiculous, folks, you know? If I was God, I wouldn't want my name saying, hey, John, how you doing? How you doing, Necro? Hey, Necro. Yeah, Necro? Okay, we love you, Necro. Necro. Hey, Necro, we love you, Necro. That would drive me nuts after a while, and I'm sure even the creator thinks that way, right? And I mean, we've got to like have an outlet. And when I was a kid, I used to get panic attacks. So this is a good story of music. I'm going to give a good story about music. When I was a kid, I used to get panic attacks. And I haven't had one in a long time. I get one coming every once in a while, you know. But I've learned to breathe and see past my illusions. But anyways, when I was younger, I used to think, I'll tell you, my problem was I thought I was going to kill my parents. I thought I was going to like slaughter my brother, my sister. Well, not my sister, my mom and my dad. And, you know, I feared the hell out of me. I used to cuddle up like in like fetal position in my room and not want to go out. But one day, this band called W.A.S.P, came along and brought me out of my got my attention span out of that part of my brain, whatever it is, wherever we get caught in our brain, in those loops again. But this band W.A.S.P and the lead singer Blackie Lawless took me out of it. He took me out of it. He took me out of myself. And I just, I started wearing makeup. I dyed my hair black, grew it long and black. I had hair black down to my hip. I used to spike it out like 7 inches. Wear lots of makeup and a lot of leather, as I do still today. But I learned to party and just forget about obsessing, getting trapped in obsession. You know, and it just grips you. And when you get that loop rolling around, so I understand like a psycho killer mind, because once you get something in your head so much, you'll probably do it. But thankful to God, the Creator, He sends people to take our minds off of ourselves into higher levels of thinking. And sometimes it takes psychodrama. I mean, they have it in, you know, like Macbeth. That's psychodrama. It's dealing with death and sex. I mean, we have a big sex drive, we men. And we have a big, you know, imagination, too. So we need outlets like that, like movies. I mean, movies are going too far these days. It's brainwashed. But, you know, back in the 80s, there was still some of that good, wholesome part of music, of movies. But anyways, you know, I'll show you a picture of W.A.S.P. I'll show you a picture, and here it is. And this is W.A.S.P. That's W.A.S.P. That's who I grew up listening to and getting into. And I mean, they don't look like a bunch of wholesome guys, but you know what? That took my mind away from my panic attacks. Seriously, I started partying and stopped being so serious with myself. And ever since I've listened to W.A.S.P, my panic attacks went away for like 11 years. So I'm really thankful to Blackie Lawless and the boys, because it got me into music. Like, Blackie Lawless got me right into music. And I play guitar. And I'd love to start a band, and I'd love to like play something heavy. And I'm Christian, but you know what? I'm not a whitewashed Christian. I don't want to be saying Jesus every second word. Just not really into that type of living like that. I'm not your usual Christian. And if I go to hell, then I go to hell. But you know what? I'm a good human being, and I try to help people out. So I don't think that's going to happen, because whoever so believes in the name of the Son is saved. So, you know what? These bands really... I'll give you another picture of Blackie and the boys. Yeah, and yeah, this is a band I grew up on, and I still love to this day. I mean, some of the first 7, 8 albums, you can't go wrong. Check them out. Like, check these guys out, because you might even like Blackie's new stuff. I don't really like the new stuff, because Blackie's getting kind of old, and I don't think he has the magic anymore. But you know what? He really took me out of myself, and I really respect him for that. That's why he's my idol, and I don't put him above God. I know who God is, and he's not God. And, you know, I believe God put them there for a reason. God puts this stuff on our planet for us to learn something about ourselves and get into higher realms, you know? Higher realms. And that's all we need to do. We need to elevate our consciousness into higher levels. Because if we're all down in the lower levels all the time, we could get in a lot of trouble, or we could like kill ourselves, or we could who knows what we could do. You know, Blackie Lawless, the black-haired guy in the picture with the stripes in his hair, that's my hero. There's no other hero for me but Blackie. And, you know, psychodrama's been around since, like, Babylon. Probably before that. They always have something that has to do with sex and death, because sex and death are very important particles of our reality. And we got to deal with our death, and we got to deal with sex. We got to put it all in its order, you know? You got to put it all in its order. And I see what music is doing. Psychodrama, like the name W.A.S.P, this band that I'm showing you, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. What the Protestants used to do back when they were against the Roman Catholic Church is they would do psychodramas against the oppression of the Roman Catholic Church. So that's where a lot of this psychodrama comes from. Even the black metal, even all that stuff, it's going against all that religious bullcrap that goes on in society. So that's the Protestants' way, because Protestant means protest. To protest against false authority. So psychodrama is not bad. We watch a movie. We all watch movies, whether we're like whitewashed Christian or Satanist. We all watch movies, and it appeals to certain parts of our brain, right? And we learn something from a movie, even though they're brainwashing us with these movies. We at least learn something. And you know, psychodrama's been going on for a very long time, folks. And don't fear it, because you know what? If you fear it, then it is a monster. To you, it's a monster. And if you let it be a monster, it will be a monster. People take things way too seriously, and they don't lay back and allow. Because the Holy Spirit works in mysterious ways, and there's a lot of things that Christians don't know, and they fear, and when they fear something, they attack it, and that's how they learn. Oh well, you know. I don't really fear much in this world. I don't fear death. You know, I fear brainwashed people taking over. I fear people taking over the world and mutilating and raping women and men. That's what I fear. I fear for good people getting hurt. And I want to protect the good people. I want to protect all good people of all races. East Indian, Mexican, German, all good people. African. I love all peoples. I love them all. I would not want to live without the blacks or the Orientals. We all are here. I mean, it would be a really boring planet if there was just white people on the earth. It'd be boring. It'd be really boring. So it's nice to see different cultures with different ways of looking at reality. And every culture has their dances or their ways of dealing with death and sex, whether you like it or not. Even the church has their ways of dealing with sex and death. They ignore it most of the time, but you know what? That's whitewash for you. And I'll give you my second favorite band of all time, and this is a band that I think everybody should listen to. Yes, the music's harsh. He's talking about harsh things, but we live in a pretty twisted reality, folks. You know, and you know, pretty much. I'm gonna have a cigarette. Pretty much, you know, when we run from something, when we run from what we think is negative, sometimes you shouldn't. You should go into it. You should go into that problem. You should go right into it. Figure it out. Don't run away from it. Don't beat it down, because it'll still be there. You gotta be smart in this world. You know? And There's a lot to learn. A wise person learns from everything. A wise person learns from everything, and I believe that. Here's this picture of my second favorite band of all time. Yeah, this is a band called GWAR. They wear regalia. They wear I think it's their true selves. I think GWAR, this is their true selves. This is what they really look like in the spirit. They're amazing. They're an amazing band. Like, they're very, like, great guitar playing, great bass playing, great drumming, great singing. Like, this guy can sing. You know, he's talking about heavy stuff in society, and he's all mashing it up. He's all mashing it into something palatable, something you can, like, you could absorb and learn from. And I like that. I think this is God's psychodrama. I think God puts these people in our life for a reason, or they wouldn't be there. God wouldn't allow these things if it didn't give us something to learn from. And GWAR, you could see they really love what they're doing, because the only music that you're going to ever listen to is when you can feel it. You know, you gotta have passion, and you gotta convey that passion to other people so that they go, "Wow, I could eat that like popcorn." You know. I'm starting to smoke in my cigarettes a lot. Well, this is it, folks. You know, this is the end of the world as we know it. No doubt about it. And it's going to be a better world for all once this world's done away with, gone into the abyss. You know? And, you know, I love this band. This is my second favorite band, and I'll always love them. They don't have one bad album, one bad EP. Everything is really good. It's really good. Here, I'll show you another picture. I'll show you another picture of my second favorite band. W.A.S.P and GWAR are my favorite of all time. Like, there's no band better than these two bands. I wish I could do these videos a lot better. I will learn. I wish I had a maiden, a trans maiden to help me. I wish she would come along and we could make some music. And she's got a beautiful voice, talking voice, and she knows who she is. I'll call her name. I totally love Autumn Asphodel. She's the best thing on YouTube. She's the best thing on this whole fucking computer thing altogether. Autumn Asphodel's better than both these bands as well, too. She entertains my mind. But anyways, I hope I'm not overdoing this video thing, because it started off somewhere else. But anyways, these are my two favorite bands, and I love them. They rock me to hell and back. And I've been to hell, and I want to go to the paradise of God, because this place ain't real, and it's gonna fade away like a dream. Here's one of their posters. Great artwork. I love that about death metal bands and all that. They just have such great artists. I mean, that darkness that people fear is out there. You can't avoid it. And these people are taking it on in all genres of heavy metal. Because, you know, somebody's got to deal with this darkness, folks. It's not just going to sit there. It's better that people tackle it than you tackling it. It's a service, folks. And I don't care about you, all you Christians out there who's sitting in the whitewash you're in. I don't care. I'm not a whitewashed Christian. I believe in the Lord Jesus, and there's nothing that can take that away from me. And it says if you want to become part of the kingdom of heaven, you got to be like a child. And what do the children do? They play. They play. And they don't question anything. They just do it. They just have fun. They explore. They gather. You know? And we're supposed to be like children. But, you know, well, if you want to chase the tail of the dragon, go for it. I care less about it. I know what the devil's doing, and he's going to be stopped. And, you know, love will be the only thing that stands in the end of this whole thing. If you stand in hate and debauchery, then, you know, you're gonna pay for it. So what we do on this earth alone, we pay for it. So, you know, that's the way life is. That's the way reality is. Has been put in front of us. So, you know, I want to do some heavy metal psychodrama. I want to do a lot of psychodrama. You know, and I would like to gather a band. I'd like to have a good guitar player, a good bass player, a good drummer, and maybe a few female singers. Or a woman that could do some speaking type of stuff. You know, let's have fun. You know, you're so afraid of having fun, Christians. You know? Just because somebody says they're into Satan and stuff, you don't know the underlying reason why they believe what they believe in. There's reasons why they believe what they believe. Maybe they've been molested by the clergy. You know, maybe they've been like molested, or I don't know. You know, maybe they just feel more comfortable with Satan. And hey, this is a free reality. This is free will, folks. You could choose whatever you want. You can't knock it. We can knock it, but you know what? It's going to be the way it is. We got to learn how to persuade people with love and peace. And stop being judgmental. And I'm saying that to myself because I've judged people, and you know, that's not good. That just puts them off. And I don't want to put people off. I want to make people come together and like feel one, you know? That's what people want. That's why they get drawn to music. All the death metal bands is because they're not finding it at home. They're not finding it at school. They're not finding it in society. So they follow these things because it makes them have this oneness, this unity. And that's their unity, folks. When you're a kid, you don't know any better. You don't know much when you're a young guy. You know? And when you see a scene, you just want to be a part of it because, hey, it looks like fun. It looks like children having fun, actually. And people have aggression, and it's a good way to put out your aggression. Go to a rock concert and, you know, just let loose for a while. It's better than going out and, like, molesting a child or killing somebody or hurting yourself. It draws people out of themselves. Because the world wants to put you in that little box, that cocoon. And that cocoon, that religious cocoon, is dangerous. It's the most dangerous cocoon to get trapped in because there's no freedom in it. So when people see people expressing themselves and breaking that cocoon, they're attracted to it. So, you know, it's pretty good. And I'll tell you, a couple more of my favorite bands that I've listened to. A few more bands I listened to are Ghoul. I wish I had a picture of Ghoul. I don't have a picture of Ghoul. But check it out. They're pretty good. they're kind of death metal-ish. And they talk a lot about death, and you know, I think death is very evident, you know, in our society, and it's very evident in our body. Even in our body, we're gonna die, and that can be a pretty freaky idea. So we got to figure that out, right, on our own, to our own, you know. And Ghoul's a good band. QUEENSRYCHE. I love QUEENSRYCHE. The guy's an awesome singer, Jeff Tate. Jeff Tate is like a fucking like 3 octave, maybe 3.5 octave range singer. Amazing singer. I'd say he's one of the best today. You know, he's one of that just hits those high notes, like just amazing. And the harmonies in QUEENSRYCHE, wow. Amazing. And then what else do I like? You know, I like a band of ORCS. They all dress up as orcs. And their music, they're fucking adding heads to the pile. That album rocks from the beginning to the end. Like, it's just amazing. I wish I could have a picture of all this, but I don't. You'll have to look it up yourself. Check it out. A band of orcs, Ghoul, QUEENSRYCHE. You know, My Life as a Thrill Kill Cult. Talks about drugs and stuff, but you know what? I've been through the drugs. I did it all. I did every drug you could possibly imagine, even to the point of where I tried getting addicted to it. Which is stupid, I know, but I didn't. It just didn't attach to me. It never attached to me. Thank God. Maybe I got shitty stuff. Thank God I did, because I sure wouldn't want to be selling my ass in Boys Town, you know what I'm talking about? I'm heterosexual. I love women. I don't like men. I hate men, actually. Sexually, that is. And what other good bands do I listen to? LIZZY Borden, another 3.5 octave singer. Amazing singer. One of my favorites. One of my very favorites. Adam and the Ants. I love Adam and the Ants. The first albums, the first 3, 4, 5 albums. I love Prince. I love like about like 3 or 4 Prince albums. 1999. You know, all those albums. Psychic TV. I really like Psychic TV a lot. Genesis Peorage. He's an amazing person. Just creative. Just made genres out of himself or herself. And you know, I love Kate Bush. I love Kate Bush. She's my favorite female singer of all time. There's Kate Bush has no bad albums. None. No bad albums. Every album by Kate Bush is perfect. It hits me in my heart, and that's the kind of music I like, is something that hits my heart. What else do I listen to? Psychotica. Check out Psychotica. Another great singer. Patrick Briggs. I don't know what he's doing today, but I hope he's doing good. Hope he's not dead. I hope the Illuminati hasn't killed him. But that guy can sing. That guy is like a opera singer. And you know what? I hope he does a lot of more music in Psychotica. I hope they have like 10 more good albums for Psychotica. And what else do I like? I like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I like a lot of Nick Cave stuff. I like KMFDM. KMFDM doesn't have any one bad album. Every album is good, except for the new ones. The new ones are getting kind of the new KMFDM is kind of getting like techno disco a little bit. They're kind of losing their feel a little bit on the last 3, 4 albums. I haven't really been rocking to it. What else? You know, and Concrete Blonde. I love Concrete Blonde. Jeanette Napolitano, great singer, songstress. God bless her. I hope she comes to the Lord, because she's so cool, and I hope she gives us another couple of great albums from Concrete Blonde. And like I said, GWAR is always my favorite new band. Dave Brockie, God rest his rock and roll heavy metal soul. I hope I can meet him again in the future. Hopefully I can actually, I want to resurrect Dave Brockie from the dead. I want to bring him back from the spirit lands to sing one last time in GWAR. That's my that is my that's what I'm shooting for. You know, and what else do I listen to? I listen to SAVATAGE. I don't really like the new singer in SAVATAGE. I like the old SAVATAGE with Chris Oliva and John Oliva, the brothers. Those two are just amazing. Just blow my mind. You know, and what else do we got? I love Iggy. I love Iggy and the Stooges. I love Iggy and Iggy Pop himself. I don't think Iggy Pop can do a bad album. I really don't. The guy has so much funk and punk in him. You know, he's got so much funk and punk. That's Iggy Pop for you. Just the funk and punk. He's a godfather of punk music. And you know, I'd love to meet Iggy. I would love to meet Ig. That guy rocks my world. And who else do I listen to? Ministry. I listen to Ministry. I love Ministry. And I like Revolting Cocks too. What else? Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. You know. And what else do I like? I like Iron Maiden. I like metal. I'm a metalhead. I'm not really into Cradle of Filth or anything, or I can't really jive with that sound. I don't really like the dark death metal puke sound, the puke voice. But, you know, it has its purpose. It's there for a reason. It's definitely there for a reason. It's here for a reason. It's not here because it just came out of nowhere. You know, it's part of society that makes it happen. When you got wrong people running the country, you get frustration, and that's how they take out their frustration, because you can't go kill 20 people because you go to jail and you can't be creative at all. You're stuck in your little cell and there's nothing there. You know, and everything is what it is. I'll give you a couple more pictures of people I love, by my favorite bands of all time, because I can. Here we go. Here's a couple more pictures for you. And yeah, those are my two favorite bands. Another band I like is Agonize, Front 242. I wish I could write this down, put it on a list. There's so many bands. Nitzareb. I like all that type of style music. God Module. There's a lot. I like a lot of music. I like a lot. I like Johnny Cash, some of his stuff, and I like the Beatles. I like the Rolling Stones. I like all music with spirit. You know, something that transports me from the sixth dimension to the ninth or higher. W.A.S.P puts me in at least 11 dimension. The 11th dimension, and GWAR. It elevates our consciousness. And that's a good thing, folks. Jesus did that too. So, and you know, if you look at the crucifixion, folks, you look at the way Jesus died, that was kind of like a psychodrama. Because God never dies. But he did put on the flesh and die on the cross for us. And that was pretty brutal. That was like, you know, same thing as rock stars are doing today, the metalheads. They're doing the same thing. They're just doing it with music and theatrics. You know, and if you don't think it's the same thing, then you're lost. Because you know, we gotta have stuff that have an outlet for our creativity and our frustrations and our you know, our society that binds us into conformity, and that conformity we're trying to break out of. We're trying to get out of that conformity, because that conformity is brainwash. And it's not good for us. It will drive any one of us insane. And you see it all the time in the news and in people's videos, you know, people killing people in schools. I mean, those kids' outlet was a gun. And frustration from society and its conformity and its little box that it gives us, that this is what you have to be if you want to thrive in our society. And that box doesn't fit one and all. That box doesn't fit everybody. And you know what? It's the most evil thing on this planet, folks. You know? It's the most evil thing on the planet. And that's why we do music. That's why we do movies. Because we're trying to break free of that box. We're trying to understand how to get free and destroy that box, that conformity. I'm gonna have another cigarette. You know, and that conformity worked for a while. It worked for 1,000 maybe years back in time, but it doesn't work today. And a lot of people want to keep throwing that box back at us, saying this is how we have to be, when it's a bunch of crap. It doesn't apply to today. You know what I mean, folks? I mean, love works in many ways than we want to understand. You know, and love is the only thing that should live. You know, and heavy metal psychodrama it's good for us. It's medicine. There were, you know, in a tribe, there's the shaman who would do his tribal dance, and he would get medicine for the tribe. And he'd put on a show. He'd do his psychodrama. And he was the medicine man. Or the medicine woman. And they went down into the lower regions of our consciousness and gave us medicine to survive. And if you don't believe that, Christians of the world, then you know what? You don't understand the spiritual aspects of reality which Jesus died for, to show us. You know, and music is a good outlet. There's no one song that could drive me crazy to want to kill people. Governments make me want to kill people. Governments are the ones that are doing all this. They're setting all this stuff up. They got that box, folks. The box of conformity. That box only works for fucking suit and tie guys. People that don't want to express themselves. People that don't want to, you know, they hate when people express themselves. Well, they don't hate it, but you know what? They use it to their advantage. To get their, your political party on the map. They'll use anything to get on the map, to get your vote. I think heavy metal is a gift. Rock and roll was a gift. Yeah, so what if it says, like, you know, sympathy for the devil? So what? Just shows us how much closer we are to Jesus delivering everybody out of this. Music shows you how far we are into Revelations, folks. When I see those black metal bands and death metal and grindcore and stuff like that and goth, and it shows me that we're really close to the edge of a new world. And that's where we want to be, don't we? We don't want to live in this boring conformist world of the fucking political right wing, left wing paradigm. Then, you know, I love music, I play music, and I would love to start a band. So if you're out there, people, and you play music and you like the way I look, I guarantee you I can play guitar real good and I can sing like fucking... my voice is very much like... I could sing Judas Priest songs pretty good. I got a high... I don't know if I have a 3.5. I maybe have a 2.5 range. I sing in falsetto a lot. But I'd like to start a band. So if you guys are out there... you know, leave your name, give me a message, and we'll do a private message, and we'll get together and we'll play some real heavy stuff. I call it God rock. It's not going to be like Striper. It's not going to be like whitewashed bullcrap, because I'm not going to say Jesus every 2 seconds. I'm going to play some really heartfelt music. I come from a wild place called Winnipeg, Manitoba. And, you know, I grew up wild. I didn't grow up with Christianity. My mom wasn't a devoted Christian. My dad wasn't a devoted Christian. My brother's not a devoted Christian. My family aren't devoted Christians. So I didn't just grow up. I didn't grow up with a Christian upbringing. I really raised myself. I was abandoned a lot as a child, so I learned how to do things on my own. I don't have to follow the conformity. I break the box. I'd smash it. I'd throw it in the abyss where it belongs. But this box of conformity is there for a reason. But thank you for listening to me, and I hope you like all the same music, and if you don't, that's okay. But if you want to check out some good music, check out all the bands I mentioned, and I'll leave a message down below with all the music I listen to. And if you like it, let's jive. Let's create something new. God bless, and I'll see you guys all in the hereafter. Cheers. Amen.